Hey Achievers, let's get straight to the point. I failed my first attempt at an online business and I want to share with you my whole story. 99% of you probably have some kind of idea for an online business, and I want to tell you all my experience and what you might expect. Spoiler alert, it's not that hard, but it's also not that different to an actual physical business offline. Let's get straight to the backstory first. Last year, I created my first ever online class. It was on goal setting, and in general, I'm a firm believer in online education. I love watching videos on Skillshare or Udemy or even YouTube, and I love actually creating videos. So it felt really natural for me to chase this type of a online business. And after I created the course, I launched it on Udemy. This is the biggest platform for online courses, and as a beginner, I felt only natural that I'm gonna start on Udemy. I had a few different ideas for online classes that were more specific to my area of expertise, which is recruitment, going to interviews, preparing your resume. I have quite a lot of experience on both sides as a candidate and also as a hiring manager, and I truly believe that I have some valuable information and knowledge to share with everyone. After I launched my first course and the revenue started coming in, I saw that I was making about $2 to $5 per purchase on Udemy, which is extremely low number. And I said to myself, okay, I have some more knowledge, I want to share it, I want to create more online courses, but is it worth it at that price? And then I thought to myself, okay, maybe I can create my own platform, promote it by myself, and sell online classes independently from Udemy or Skillshare, which is a similar platform, which also meant that I'm going to be keeping bigger portion of the revenue. After making this decision, I started preparing the next two online classes, and they were on resume writing, how to make a professional looking resume, and how to ace your job interview, so how to leave a great everlasting impression that potentially will get you hired. And this whole period of preparing those two classes, including with the first one, let's say the whole three classes that I built, editing them, shooting them, making them professional and everything. It took me about probably 2 months altogether. And of course, I already had the knowledge how to work with a camera, I had the setup, I had the lights and everything. So if you're just starting and if you're thinking about this, whatever it is, it might not be online classes, but make sure that you leave some time for the learning curve. At the same time, while I was preparing the last two classes, I was also learning about hosting platforms. So for example, ClickFunnels or Kartra, places where you can basically do absolutely everything. You can store your files, you can have what is called a sales funnel, so a page that is actually made for selling. Then you can also have like the back end where people can click and log in and do everything on the computer and have the best experience possible with your online classes. And this took me again about 2 months, and I was doing it simultaneously with the shooting, so it wasn't like additional time until the launch. But it was a lot of work. I was watching a lot of videos, a lot of courses on how to do this. And I was comparing platforms. I was choosing which one is better for my needs. And after I made the decision and I was ready with the online classes, then I moved to the next step, which was actually the whole design. So you might have an actual product, but you need to kind of put it into a nice looking format, which will actually look great for sales and it will attract you customers. This stage was the hardest one for me. While I was creating the courses, it was kind of easy because I had the experience with the camera. I also had the knowledge on what I wanted to say. But when it comes to designing the sales page and the back end, I wasn't so confident. I have absolutely no experience in design, and I knew it's going to take me a lot of time to learn about this. As I mentioned, I was choosing between two platforms for everything, which was ClickFunnels, which is the more popular one, and Kartra, which is like the newcomer. I chose Kartra because kind of felt more intuitive, and I read that it has less bugs. and you can do absolutely everything with yourself without any kind of coding knowledge or design knowledge. But after I started working with Kartra, I realized that I wouldn't be able personally to do this by myself, or if I would, it would take me so much time to learn that I won't be able to focus on my actual 9 to 5 job and also to my YouTube channel. And I didn't want this. So at that stage, I decided to find and hire a designer, which was a whole different adventure, because finding a good designer is not very easy, because you need to find someone that will match your kind of thinking and you match with the perspectives on the design. With creative people, you cannot really push them and tell them, you design me this. They need to give you ideas, and that's why your way of thinking needs to kind of match in order to work well together. And of course, it comes about price, because when you're launching a new business, you're not ready to throw all your money into it, because that's the whole point of online businesses. And that's why I love it, because you can start with a less than normal offline business capital. So the first thing I did was went on Upwork and I posted a job for designing a website, and of course some help with my YouTube channel, designing some stuff for it. And there are some applications that came through. I was orienting myself about the price, about the quality of those people. But then finally I decided to go with someone locally. I'm from Bulgaria, and usually the designers here are relatively cheap, but also it was much easier for me when it comes to the time difference. There was no time difference. If I'm working with somebody in India or in the United States, we have a huge time difference. I don't know, it felt more appropriate that I can work with somebody that is in my country. And of course, I wanted to support the community of online people in my country. So that's why I chose a designer which was based in my own country. The first task that I gave to the designer was designing my own personal web page. Everybody that's doing something online should have a web page. I think that's a no-brainer. And the idea was that after that, we will link the platform that we decided to choose, Kartra, to my website, and that's how we're going to drive the traffic to the actual sales page where the online courses will be stored. After my website was ready, the designer started working on the actual sales page. But then she gave me a suggestion that maybe we can do this on an actual website on WordPress and not on this Kartra platform. Because keep in mind, as I told you, they have a subscription fee of at least $100 every single month. Yes, it includes a lot of benefits like email marketing and all other kinds of stuff, which is like an all-in-one tool. But also, if you don't make sales for 4, 5, 6, 7 months, this is just an ongoing expense. And she gave me a really good price for designing the backend and everything, where the courses will be hosted, designing the sales page and everything, and actually providing me the freedom to go and change by myself absolutely everything, even without having any kind of coding or design knowledge. They were all just templates in WordPress, so I was able to later play with these even without the help of the designer, and the price kind of made sense. I was able to pay her to do this for 2 or 3 months worth of Kartra, and after that basically it's for free. After going through this whole period of design and interface and so on, it took us about 2 or 3 months to be completely ready with the whole website. Another obstacle that I faced was finding a domain. There are thousands of websites out there that provide domains and they have different options. So just comparing them and choosing between the different providers, it took me, I don't know, it was probably harder to pick a domain than picking a car. There are just so many options on a different language that I'm not really great at. Finally, at the beginning, I decided to go with Squarespace. A lot of favorite YouTubers have Squarespace websites, and also the Squarespace is sponsoring a lot of channels. So I said to myself, okay, great. So one day when Squarespace comes to me and asks me to advertise on my channel, I will be able to tell them, great, I'm already a user and I love your platform. Sure, but it didn't actually work like this because actually Squarespace doesn't facilitate WordPress. They facilitate their own templates for building websites and everything. And that was a no-go for us because the whole backend and everything was supposed to be with WordPress. So I ended up asking for a refund and just again going through the whole research of finding a domain and a host, and it was a wild ride, but anyway, I actually bought a domain for the longest period possible because it was the cheapest, so it was for about 3 years, and then we were basically ready to launch. Almost. Since I don't have a big audience online, and to be honest, guys, I don't really feel comfortable selling something to you. I just want to provide great value for you at this stage and just enjoy it for free. I decided to go and launch my business with ads, and that meant Facebook ads and Google ads as a beginning. Up until this moment, I have already spent quite a lot of time and money on everything, designing and everything that we discussed. So now was like the key moment for me. This is where I was actually going to start attracting customers to my product and see if it's worth something or not. So the cheapest and easiest way to do this is with Facebook ads, and I have a friend who's an expert in this. He does this actually for a living, and he helped me hugely with all the ads and all the setup. Actually, this is a whole nother type of knowledge that somebody needs to acquire if you need ads on doing an online business, and that's why you've probably seen all the ads on YouTube and on Facebook for people that are marketing agencies selling you how they will teach you to make great Facebook ads, or they'll do it for you just for a small commission. That's the whole reason, because this is like black magic, all the ads, and you need a lot of knowledge to build great converting ads. But luckily I had my friend on my side and we started building the Facebook ads. This meant designing visuals, deciding between video or photo or both, making the copy text look nice, making the right type of URLs and everything, reading through all the policies for specific ads that we are going to launch, and making sure that Facebook will approve those ads. And once we were ready, we were kind of excited because this was like almost 6 months in the making, and I was like having a little celebratory evening when I was launching the first product. And it launched, I think it was on a Tuesday or something. The ads started running in, people started visiting my website, and about 12 hours later, Facebook blocked my account. I'm not sure why this happened. We went back and forth with Facebook, with emails, but nowadays you don't really get to talk to a human because we weren't violating really any rules. And I was scrolling through Facebook seeing much more aggressive ads than mine. And it was something like my hands were tied. We were talking to bots, not actual people, and it was really frustrating, but it was like nothing that we could do. Facebook blocked our account and that was it. In a way, Google is even a better platform than Facebook because you get targeted traffic. This means people are searching for a specific thing and you can place an ad on their search, which is great for my goal, for my product. I think this was actually an even better match than Facebook. And that's what we did. We did the research for keywords and everything. We made the text, and of course we launched again, and Google didn't approve our ads. The good news was that Google didn't actually block my account, they just blocked the ads. And again, I started some communication with their support back and forth. Why are you doing this? What's wrong with the ad? Let us know so we can fix it. In about a week time, it turned out that it was just the computer, the actual AI, scrolling through those ads and checking them for something that flagged it for no particular reason. So about a week later, my ads were finally online and I could start making some sales. Few days into the advertising campaign, nothing was actually happening. I had zero sales. And I think the main reason for this was because I had the product priced very, very expensive. Of course, when you're launching something, I always like to start with the higher price and then just start going down. So check at which point the people want to buy the product. And I had it at something like $300, which was quite ambitious when you have courses on Udemy for $10 or $15. And that's why we started moving the price down. And at the same time, I used a tool called Yandex, which was showing me sessions from people that went on the site and just read through the page. This is extremely useful because it actually told me what was the interaction, how much time they spent, if they wanted to buy something or they just dropped out right away. And there was a whole process of about a week or two, which I was studying this and I was trying to fine tune my sales page based on the feedback from those people. While this whole thing was happening, I was also getting a second try at Facebook ads. I had a second ad account, which is different from your private Facebook account, and I was ready to launch another campaign. This one was completely different. I wasn't trying to sell anything directly to the user, but I was giving them something for free, and they were about to give me their emails. And on a later stage, via email marketing, I was able to give them a little bit more information about what I do, my products, and then make a sale, which meant that I had to learn a whole lot about email marketing. This is another topic that is huge and you need to have a lot of experience and great knowledge. I had nobody to help me with this one. I did it all by myself. Probably that's why I didn't make any sales from it, but I was following a simple guideline. First of all, that meant that I need to register with MailChimp, and I was collecting all the emails there. And then as a second stage, I designed an email sequence campaign. So this meant that the users every day or two, they will get an email from me with some kind of information. And my strategy was to provide 2 emails with free value, free videos that I have on my channel and are related to the topic that they're interested in. And then as an end stage, I was giving them my product at a certain price. Guess what? Out of about 100 people, nobody even clicked on my links on the email, not even for the free video materials that I was giving away. Probably this was because I didn't have any experience with email marketing, or because maybe that's not working, or they were not getting the emails. But that meant that, again, for a period of 2 or 3 months, I wasn't making any sales through the Google ads, even though I was changing the prices constantly and I was improving the design, and I wasn't getting anywhere with email marketing. As you could probably tell until now, this whole online business thing, it's a lot of work, and it doesn't matter if you're going to go the way of a digital product or sell something on Amazon or whatever. First of all, there's a huge learning curve. You need to invest a lot of time and in many cases quite some cash, and then you need to be able to face the failures and then try again until something happens or until you learn, and maybe you stop doing this business, maybe you try something else. And it's exactly like a normal startup. I was loving the idea of an online business because it's easy, it could be a little bit passive, I can do it from anywhere in the world. Sure, but I don't see any differences from the offline business when it comes to the learning curve, investment of time and money, and all the skills and finding clients, because this is the tricky part. You can do all the designs, you can do all the products, all the sales pages, but unless you have clients, you're going nowhere basically. And since I had already invested quite a lot of money and time, I wasn't ready to give in just yet. I decided to give it a second try. We did like a screenshot of everything that's happening, what people were searching for on our topic, which was recruitment related. And then we fine-tuned, I actually designed a completely new sales page which was more oriented to what people were searching. So this meant that we'll be able to get to more people more easily. And after I made this whole beautiful design of this new web page, we launched it and we decided to add Quora as an advertising platform to the mix, because this is again something like Google. People go there with a specific question. And if you are able to provide them with a specific answer through an ad, it's very likely that they are going to click. And that was actually what was happening. Our conversion rate on Quora was the best one yet, but we weren't making any sales. At that moment, my price was already about $35, $29, something like this, and I wasn't still getting any kind of sales. And to be honest, I truly believe that $30 for the product that I was offering was great. If anyone decided to enroll and check it out, I had, of course, 30-day money back guarantee, so they were able to watch absolutely everything in that course and then just ask for a refund. They would see that this is actually a valuable information, but I had no luck whatsoever, even at that price point. So actually, at some point, I started making sales, which meant I made two sales, and they were at the point of about $20 each. So I had two sales and I had about $40 in revenue and about $3,000 already in expenses. Not very sustainable business model, I would say. So after seeing no results whatsoever, I decided to park this idea of an online business for a while. And I couldn't stop asking myself what was wrong? Why did this whole thing fail? And of course, I could come up with 1,000 reasons, but there are a few that are the main reasons. And the first one was that I wasn't 100% convinced that this product will make it. It wasn't kind of sexy enough. I was putting the efforts, but I wasn't putting all my time and effort in it just because I was like, it just didn't sound sexy enough. I'm not selling dreams and hopes of millions without doing absolutely anything or something that usually people sell to you on a Facebook ad. I was giving more of practical knowledge that will actually serve you tomorrow when you go on a job interview, which applies for 90% of the people online, but nobody was appreciating that. The second reason is that I didn't do absolutely everything in my power and I didn't explore all kinds of other options. And that's mainly because of the first reason. But I could have gone on LinkedIn, advertised there, or just get in touch with recruiters, think of somehow of an affiliate program where they have clients and they have candidates applying every single day, and a lot of those candidates need to refine their resumes and get prepared for the interview. And I could have reached out to different recruitment agencies and asked them, to promote my product and then get a commission for every sale, and thousands of other different things that I could have done. But I actually didn't. I was just focusing on those ads and getting the feedback from the customers. The third reason for my failure was, I think, also that people are sick of somebody selling them something online and sounding, great, amazing, unbelievable offer and so on. I'm personally one of those people. It's really hard to sell me something online. And probably that's also one of the reasons, because it's way oversaturated at this moment in any kind of ads. The fourth reason, I think, is timing. This is right when the breakout of the virus happened. I thought this will play out great for me because there will be a lot of unemployment, people will be looking for jobs and so on. So yeah, but no, because there was a lot of unemployment and still is to this day, but people were actually relying on the social benefits of the government and they were not willing to or risking to start a new job or look for a new job. They were going to wait. And that's why I actually even got comments on some of my ads on Facebook. Are you crazy on this time to look for a job? And I think this is also one of the reasons. But these two last reasons are actually me just bitching and whining about it. The true reasons are the first two reasons. I just didn't put enough effort. And that is pretty much my story, guys. Will this be my last attempt at an online business? I don't think so. I love it. I fell in love with it. I just need to find the right kind of product and the right kind of sales tactics so that people actually start purchasing it. And actually, I covered just a small portion of all the things that happened and all the experience that I've gained. If you're planning to do something similar, hit me down in the comments with your questions, and I'll make sure I respond to the extent that I can, of course. And I'm gonna share with you all my experience, guys, and hope that your business that you're trying to do right now, or you have a plan to realizing at some point, will be more successful than mine for sure. That's pretty much everything for this video, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.